Hey, it's Auntie Tam here. I want to talk about grief. But not the way psychology textbooks talk about it. Not as 5 neat stages: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. No, but how it transpires in our First Nations communities. Because in our communities, grief doesn't move in tidy steps. It's layered. It's communal. It's ongoing. Every loss echoes generations of losses before it. Our grief looks less like stages and more like a river, sometimes still, sometimes flooding, but always flowing through us. Grief is love with no place to go. It's silence at the table where a voice should be. It's birthdays unmarked, milestones unattended, grandparents' hands no longer steadying us. It's the heaviness our youth carry when the people who were supposed to raise them are gone. To death, to addictions, to prison, to systems that took them. For our young ones, grief feels like walking into a school event and realizing no parent came. Feels like blowing out candles on a cake no one baked. It feels like missing the smell of your grandmother's cooking, or the way your father teased you when you were small. And here's the truth. Grief doesn't just show up as sadness. It shows up as confusion, as silence, as anger, as withdrawal, because sometimes they don't even have the language to say, "I miss them." Every loss is layered. Child, youth, adult, elder. When someone passes, we don't just lose that one person. We lose the whole imagined timeline, the future we had dreamt of with them. And in our First Nations communities, the layers spread wide. Cousins grieving cousins. Foster homes mourning children they raised. Friends grieving friends they've known since kindergarten. Families forever changed. Each new loss piles on the old ones, until the weight makes some people freeze. Stuck in a moment they can't get past. In our communities, grief is collective. That's why when a family loses someone, everything shuts down. To outsiders it may sound extreme. But we know grief doesn't belong to one household. It belongs to us all. A loss in any family reshapes the entire structure of the community. And it's not just death. Youth grieve separations, divorces, new partners entering households. A girl who loses her mother may never get closure. Grandparents carry their own grief, and the silent grief of their grandchildren. Loss ripples outward. But systems, they don't see this. They see truancy, addictions, bad homes, unfit parents. To them, our youth are client files. Numbers on a chart. I've watched systems come in with good intentions, but the words come out wrong. Instead of "what's hurting you," they say, "I have a job to do." And it wounds us all over again. Systems rarely account for the child grieving a parent still alive, but unreachable. The teen frozen after losing a best friend. The foster child grieving 2 families, the one they lost and the one raising them. The elder grieving in silence, while raising grandkids. Grief is not a pathology. It's not a checklist. It's communal, interwoven, ongoing. And when systems arrive with threats instead of compassion, they re-traumatize entire households. No wonder our communities feel like pressure cookers. If grief is communal, then healing must be communal too. Not piecemeal. Not siloed. A whole. I've seen it. In my home. In my parents' home. Grief is not a stranger. But it's not a word we fear. We cry. We pass the Kleenex. And sometimes we laugh after. Because the best medicine for grief is not silence. It's expression. Our nervous systems are begging for release. And our ceremonies show us how. Fire, water, drum, song, sweat, land. Elders and storytellers reminding us our feelings are not weakness. Safe spaces where youth can cry or sit in silence without shame. Collective care. Not just at the funeral but weeks later, months later. That is what healing looks like. Not long ago, I stood with a young woman falling apart. Her losses spilled out. Parent, grandparents, even her home. I told her what I told myself. Grief is love with no place to go. After my sister Cheryl passed, I couldn't step into her house for months. And I'll never make another new memory. But here's what I know. Death didn't change that Cheryl is my sister. She always will be. Love means letting her rest, knowing she felt my love despite life's hardships. We didn't just need each other's stories that day. We needed each other. That's the power of our communities. Healing offered in both directions. Grief is not neat. It's not tidy. It's not apathy. We've never survived by not caring. We survive by caring even when it hurts. By loving even when it wounds us. By refusing to stop showing up. Because grief is not weakness. Grief is the echo of love. And love has always been our strength. Call it Creator, God, Allah, Buddha, psychology. The names differ. But what matters is the spirit of community. And that is endless. Thank you for listening. Auntie Tam.